Alright, welcome everybody to another episode of Goo for Thought, and this is the edition for November. Goo for Thought is our thing where we talk Pokemon at the beginning of every month, first Sunday of every month, I should say. And today we have something big as Scarlet and Violet drop on the 18th. And I'm going to go through a couple little details, how we've been going over the Pokemon characters, different aspects of the game. I'm going to put my thoughts on that, and then I have some stuff to talk to you all about. I gotta explain what's going on this channel when the game drops, and kind of like some of my big hopes for the game. I know I've talked my hopes, my thoughts on the game prior, but still, we're gonna take the chance, take the time, look at that, maybe dive a little deeper into some, maybe just stay shallow level for the others. But yeah, let's get on to it. Cause in October we were introduced to this person, Iono. I I really didn't care much about her. I didn't really like to keep up with it. I don't wake up, I don't stream these, so I didn't have to deal with this. But she is an electric gym leader, and that's really all we know. She has little Magnemites, which I mean you would assume that's the Paldea variant for it. But she also has a little Pokemon named Bellibolt, which looks absolutely stupid, absolutely lovable, absolutely just. I think that's the best way to put it. The Elefrog Pokemon Electromorphosis and Static. Electromorphosis is a new ability, which, I mean, as you can see, new ability appearing for the first time. Belly Boats becomes charged when it hit by an attack, boosting the power of the next electric type move it uses. That is pretty cool. I like the design. Definitely up there in regards to what the Pokemon I like more or less in this. And we'll make our own way on down to the I I think it's ugly. I think it's kind of lame. I hope it has a second evolution. I hope maybe a third evolution. Maybe it can get really cool. So that's my thoughts. That'll get me just massacred because it's a dog. But I mean, still, it's. I mean, I'm not. I found as far as animals go, I have no attachment to your pets, but my pets are the sweetest, most cute things ever. Like we can have a pet that someone could bring in a pet in the house and that it'd be like, "Oh, that thing's ugly." 10 days later, it's the cutest thing. But this ain't mine. It's not adorable. Whenever if I were to catch one, then it might be the most adorable thing ever. Who knows? But ghost dog, ghost type, pickup. The fact it has pickup really makes me think it's going to get another evolution phase. I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't seem to have too much going for it. I'm, it's a if you play with it, you die. So I mean, that might fulfill some people's dark wishes, but there we go. And that's my thoughts on the Pokemon, the trainer. But they introduced the TM machine, handy device that can make TMs, and this actually looked really interesting. Can be made using league points, materials dropped by wild Pokemon after battle. So this sounds a lot more like Pixelmon if you've ever played it. How if you fight Pokemon in Pixelmon, then they'll drop different materials that you can use. Or at least like that was like an old school Pixelmon. I don't know. But let's see. Can be obtained as you advance through the story or by trading in materials from Pokemon. Moves you want your Pokemon to learn at the TM machine and making a TM. So, I mean, as you can see, you can make Rest a Psychic type move for 400 points. This is going to probably be the equivalent of like the biking and doing all those different things in Sword and Shield. I know you could race on your bike. I don't remember if there was anything else to it, but I mean, Team 10, Team 12, Team 15, 16, 19. And we've got our Sprigatito and the pig. So yeah, we got some stuff there, but I just want to pull up the Pokemon roster. And as far as going through and playing through, I know Fuecoco's on my team. Out of all the things that have actually been mentioned, I mean, I guess Miraidon could be on it. I guess Ceruledge could be on it. But I think I'm actually, if Satitan ends up in Evolves, I could see that being a fun thing to actually use because I love ice types. Bellibolt could be on the team. Grafaiai and Cloth. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what? We'll throw Cyclozar on there because it's a dragon type. I'm not too fond of the design yet, but just a little like quick go through. But now is the time we really get to talking because I, as you know, have had Hardcore Nuzlocke be the main staple of this channel. I've kind of dropped Unite because it wasn't getting views and I was finding myself scrambling to make them. Maybe if I put more heart into making those videos that they would have done better and I would have kept on going. So that could just be very well on me. But as you can see, we got Ultra Moon Nuzlocke, we got X, we got White 2, we got White, we got Platinum, we got Emerald, we got the Saturday, which I do want to bring this back at some point. Legends Arceus was like fun. I need to go back to that just for my own sake. But Crystal Yellow, and there is the Brilliant Diamond right there as well. But why am I showing you that I do hardcore Nuzlocks? Well, it's quite simple. It's because with the first time I take on Pokemon Violet on November 18th, it will be a hardcore Nuzlocke. And I need y'all's help for one big aspect. Since YouTube's allowing us to do polls for the channel, like and have like the different channel tabs, I need a really big help out of you all and just get y'all's opinions. Cause I for one like I'm gonna do a hardcore Nuzlocke. But there's a part of me that wants to only use new mons, like different like new things. So that would mean which I mean would mean I could use any of these, which I mean of course I wouldn't be able to use all of them cuz you get one starter, but you only get one starter, these two are but you know what I mean. I'd be able to use a giraffe rig. I still don't know too we still don't know too much about Wiglet, but if I were to use only new mons, then even Paldean Wooper would count. But these are the things I would be able to use. What I wouldn't be able to use would be like, oh, say there's a Pikachu, say there's a Giratina, say there's like I mean like you could just keep on going down the line. Say there's a Doug Trio, say that Diglett. I'm going just Gen 1. So let's get a Lantern, let's get Absol, let's get Bronzong, let's get Scrafty, Furfrou, and you get the point, you get the point, you get the point. So I wouldn't be able to use any of those. I would only be able to use Pokemon that are new to the region. Or do I do a regular, just go through regular, and what I get's what I get. First encounter, we go through, we have fun, we have a blast, we see what we do. Because either way, I'm going to have fun with it. I do like to always play through these games using new stuff whenever they first come out. So that's my take on it. I'm leaning towards that, and I just want to. If that's what the poll's going to be for, is I want to know what y'all's thoughts on it are, and that poll will either be released with this video, or it'll come out like an hour or two, or it might be out in like 15 minutes after the video. Something it'll either the poll's either going to be released with the video, or it'll be released at some time later on. That's my But that's my like question to you all. But what I wanted to go into also here is I have a couple of hopes for well, just get kind of like my hopes for how this hardcore stuff plays out. Because one thing is for sure, I need a reasonable level gap. I need reasonable pacing. I know I know with hardcores you're supposed to have a level cap. This one's gonna be very like this will be a very loose hardcore. I mean, it's still not gonna be healing. It's still not gonna be on Switch, but the level gap will be loose because I'm going in blind, so I don't know the pacing. But I'm hoping for both the pacing to be reasonable, be good, but I'm also hoping that I'm hoping the experience share like either it keeps you on track with everything or like it just like the experience share needs to be able to even out with the pacing. I would love to be able to fight all the trainers, like all the random trainers, like that dude who has all Magikarps. I want to be able to fight him, but I also want to be able to fight a person if they have all chances and be able to keep on pace with the story, like the be able to keep on progressing, like be able to hit the gyms, be able to hit the because we're not sure how like with this being open world, we don't know where the pacing is going to really come from. So that's a big worry, a big fear of mine. But the experience shared, that's going to be pretty much something that coexists, coincides with it. And other things though, I do want interesting battles. I mean, I understand the random trainers, sure. I do like whenever a team doesn't just stick to one typing. I like when the rival fights are honestly some of the more interesting ones because it's not oh, I gotta just counter team. Like, I'd rather not have, I would rather be able to have a lot more interesting battles other than like your gym, like even the champion, if the champion has just a whole bunch of random Pokemon. Like I'd rather have a blue. Rather, I'd rather have trying to think. Is it's Lance? It's Steven or Wallace? Cynthia. Cynthia has pretty random stuff. But you know, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Is I want more interesting battles other than like the ones you know are gonna be type, like just type lock, type based. That's my that's my ideas on it. And I want grass, 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 grass. Not the grass type. I want to be able to walk into grass and get my encounter. I think it is cool the being able to see all the Pokemon walking around. But if that's all it is, that really lessens the ability of the Nuzlocke, in my opinion. So that's one of my big complaints as far as being a person who nuzlocks, being a nuzlocker, I guess, goes. But also with the grass, I need a lot of encounters. I don't want to have one of these where, I mean, if you play Pokemon Black and White, there's only like 3 encounters first gym, 4 encounters second gym, 3, 4 encounters third gym. I mean, yes it does kind of challenge you more. It does test your skills more, but especially like I prefer to have the option of using and being able to just go out and be like, you know what, I got this Doduo. I want to I want to use that instead of this Rattata. But instead, if you have 3 encounters, it's like I got a Rattata, I got I got a Caterpie, we're done. And I really don't know why. I mean, Gen 1 is just really the most noticeable, like just the most memorable, I guess. So that's that's the topic for another day, isn't it? But yeah, so just looking at my oh yeah, to and we'll go with something to go off of the enough encounters in the game. We need to have I would love to be able to have diversity in types. And when I say diversity in types, I would like to be able to walk into grass and it not just be like, oh, hey, you're at this point in the game. It's like, we're going to just have normal. It's the beginning of the game, normal types. It's the beginning of the game. here's your like bird that's gonna be not that great. Which we haven't even had our bird introduced to us, have we? That's that's pretty interesting. Because you would think we would have our starter bird. Huh. Hmm. Just kind of something I noticed right there. But yeah, like now I will say this, and this will be a hypocritical, but whenever we get to the ice place, we better have ice types. I don't want none of this steel type. I don't want fighting types. I need me more ice type. Now that is me being a hypocrite on that, but that is what I like. That is something I just want selfishly is more ice types. So please, please, please let me have that. But I mean, you hit a like you go to a beach. There shouldn't just be water types. There should be ground types, because like the sand, there should be. Uh, I mean, like you can honestly have a fire type there, because beaches are supposed to be sunny. There's just so many different things you can do there. Just like I don't. I mean, now if you're fishing too, like I don't want to fish up a fire type. I don't want to fish up like all these different typings. It has to be a water type. And also too, of course, like dual typings are a thing. Just saying, like you would get the types that work, and also with the diversity. Like I wouldn't want to have a route that's like, oh, you can only get 3 or 4 different things here, and 2 of the 3 are the same thing, but in the like are in the same evolution line. Like I don't want none of that stuff where it's like you can get 4 or 5 things here, but you could get a Starly or Staravia in Gen 4. But then, because then like you could get 5 things there, but if you get Starly Staravia, that also means you're getting Bidoof and Barrel, which is kind of just lame, stupid. I'm not really here for that. And I get, I guess my other big, big thing is I want the Elite Four to not only have more than 4 Pokemon. I will say, spoiler alert, I have already completed Ultra Moon. And they did not have, like, the Elite Four didn't have just 4 Pokemon. But, which made it a little bit more difficult too. But Black and White, Black 2, White 2, and I believe X and Y, like, they each had only 4 Pokemon. And which this is also me talking like I'm expecting there to be an Elite Four. I mean, I'm expecting there to be an Elite Four because we have the gym system still. But yeah, I mean, I want the it needs to have more than 4. I think it'd be really cool if the Elite Four could have like a full team. Like, wouldn't that be amazing? Go through and just full team, bang, full team, bang, full team, bang, full team, bang, champion, and then just have it like honestly cheat for the champion and let them have 7. Like do something crazy would be just cool. And there is one other super important thing as a person who's been doing hardcore Nuzlocks. And I don't know if I cheated, I don't know what. If you're gonna asterisk put an asterisk on that Ultra Moon, I need staggered levels in the Elite Four. I love the ability to choose, like, oh, I'm going to this. Like, I'm going to take on this one first. I'm going to take this one next. But I mean, also, I think that limits the amount of that really limits the amount of difficulty as well. Because if you go and you're like, oh, my team can take on this typing right now, like I can take on a fighting type Elite Four member easy. My team can do that, and then like, and if I gain a level, then I'll be able to take on this person. Or, but I think I can take on because I can take on the fighting type for sure. I think I can take on the grass. So I know I can take on both of those. So then if I can do or I think I can take on both of those. So if I can get the level ups, then I can move to the steel type. You see, like to me, like that really limits the difficulty in being able to choose. But also it really limits the difficulty whenever you can have I mean, it really, really, really limits the difficulty whenever you make the choice, and then because you like, I mean, you you're already in position whenever you can make the choice. Just make it be like boom, 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 boom. But then you add on top of that that the levels of each of them are the same. Like I can go take we can use Ultra Moon for example, because I'm not going to tell you how that goes. I'm just going to tell you looking at their levels because I did want to try and stay within the level gap. They were level 57. The thing is though, the last the last gym, the last trial, the last whatever was also level 55. Plus you have Victory Road and you have other stuff in between that. So whenever I got out of the trial, I was 56. Whenever I get out of Victory Road, I'm 58. And it's just like, you know what? I'm just going to go level up to the champion because why not? Like it just doesn't I I want staggered level. I want to be able to go in there and be like, "Oh, I'm going to take on." And I mean, if you give us the option of choice, it could be like, "Oh, I'm going to face a 57 and then a 58, a 59 and a 60." But have the champion set like completely set at 62. I don't know. I don't see a problem with that. You all can explain your reasoning below if you don't mind. Kind of try and like help me understand. But as a person who's been doing hardcore Nuzlocke and I've noticed that that's the case, it really like it really is a and then the fact that the in between the last boss to the Elite 4, like the fact that those are such a close gap, you can't even really feasibly make it. I wish they would be able to. I wish Pokemon would be able to tune in for that, like be able to tune that up, down. I don't know which way it has to go, what to say for it, but that'd be easily my biggest thing. Which I mean, that goes along with. I mean, the pacing. Pacing is big because that's the. I, okay, I'm just rambling on here. I guess I'm just need to say pacing has to be fixed, and you need to stagger levels of the E4. That's my like two biggest things. And then before I end it off, I don't I don't know what the story is going to be. I don't know how the characters are going to interact. I do want to make you all know, like make sure that this is going to be the first playthrough, and it's going to be blind. So that means I'm going to be running around. I'm going to be playing the game like it's normal. I'm not going to really stress the pacing. I'm not going to just stress the levels in this one because if I get over leveled, I get over leveled. I'm going to enjoy the game. But I'm definitely going to make sure I don't heal, I don't switch, I don't do that stuff in battle. So, good characters, good story. And I mean, good story as far as Pokemon can go. Good characters as far as Pokemon can go. Just I don't want to sit there and be like, I have to get through this." So, I guess that would really truly be my biggest worry. But as I end this off, I guess I mentioned and like you can comment down below the level stuff, but honestly, like go check out the poll, see like vote if I use new mons or regular, and also just kind of if there's stuff that I hit on that you agree with, like you can add on your opinions to what you hope happens if you plan on nuzlocking these games. If you if there's different things I didn't mention, make sure to mention those, and maybe it'll be something I didn't even think of. That'd be amazing. And also, if you're more of a competitive player, I might need your help in the future. I mean, that's a wink, wink, nudge, nudge moment. And if you just play these games very casually, I mean, just kind of put in the comments what are you looking for? Have you already had your team completely decided? So, yeah. And with that, I'm going to end this video here. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for tuning in. As always, I'm Guy on Ostrich, that is a capital GOO. And until next time, peace out.